Well, my passion to be successful is what drives me. My upbringing, the way I was raised. I'm a survivor. I had one of my friends tell me, he said, man, you're like a cat. Throw you up and you're gonna land on your feet. Right here lately, I've found out that I was doing things backwards. I was searching for things that I shouldn't have been searching for. It was right up under my nose. And the passion that I have for kids, not only by basketball, I just like to see people successful. I've never been a person that didn't want my neighbor to be successful. And thus far, I've had a pretty good life. I really can't complain about my life. I'm 42 years old, been pretty much halfway around the world with basketball, and it's just been a blessing thus far to be able to train kids and give to them what people have given to me. Developing a work ethic. I'm a firm believer in if you outwork people, the reward is going to meet the hard work. I'm just a believer, if you put in the work, the reward has to come back around and meet it. But it's a difference. I like to say you have to work the right way though. A lot of kids don't understand how to work the right way. For instance, going in the gym, taking 500 jump shots without following through is shooting 500 jump shots the wrong way. It just don't make sense to me. Or going in the gym and you know you have a weakness with your left hand and you consistently work only with your right hand. That's not good to me. I really hit home on those little things to make kids realize that you have to do it the right way. You have to shoot it the right way, dribble it the right way. And pretty much my training, all of it is making sure that you have a foundation, because most kids these days doesn't have a foundation. They play and their foundation is not solid. I really take advantage of that platform. I really do. I try to use that platform to get across to kids not only the work that you do in the gym will be carryover, it will be carryover in the marketplace. Just for some reason you don't make it as a basketball player, but that work ethic, that attention that you give me, that paying attention to detail in here, it's carryover in the marketplace in a real job. And if I see that a kid is lazy or they're lacking in certain areas in the gym, socially or emotionally, I try to pinpoint that. And I tell them, you don't listen, you're not attentive, you don't pay attention to details. It's the same as being on a job. I mean, if your boss give you an instruction or some directions to carry out a particular assignment and you always have excuses, it's the same, it's carryover. It's nothing different. And touching on part B of that question, the spiritual aspect is what we all need. So there's always a time where I can minister to a kid or not really having to say anything. Just being a good role model in the gym and always showing up on time myself. However I got to use that platform, I use it. And I use it. I take full advantage of having 55, 60 kids and sometimes 100 kids in the gym. I take full advantage of the platform that I have.
Tell me a little bit about you. I know that you play ball here at Duke University. You've moved on to some greater, bigger things. First of all, tell me, how did you get into this game of basketball?
I just got into it just playing with my brother and his friends, always the only girl. I think I was probably about 9 or 10 years old when I was playing with him. I didn't start playing organized ball until the 7th grade in middle school, and then I went on to start AAU my 7th grade summer.
Okay. Now, with you playing AAU ball, did you realize this is something that you really wanted to get into, or was it later on in your life?
It was something that I've always been passionate about. I was always a competitor. You know, if it wasn't basketball, it was football. It was racing in the streets. It was whatever. You know, baseball, what have you. Everything in the street with the kids. But it's always something I've been passionate about. My mom was a basketball player. My dad is pretty athletic, and it was always something my dad, my mom, my brother, my sister, and I would always get in the backyard and go 1-on-1, 2-on-2, what have you. So it sort of run through our family.
Well, when you, like you said, when you got to that point, this was something you knew you wanted to do. To get to that next level, I see the competitiveness, like when you guys are out here working out with Shawn. Let me ask you about Shawn, first of all. How did you meet Shawn?
I met Shawn through Bridget Mitchell. I call her B. Bridget.
Yeah.
Never know. But I met her through him. I've been down here at Duke for about 6 weeks now, training, rehabbing, getting back into game form. I got injured last year, April 20th, so I haven't played basketball for over a year. And Shawn has done a tremendous job in just pushing me to that next level, giving me drills that I've never seen before, and keeping sort of the workouts live. I've been in a lot of workouts, and sometimes I get very bored with workouts, but Shawn does a great job of bringing in a variety of new things, new, tough, efficient drills.
Well, you said that you played ball and you got injured. Tell us, what team did you play for, and a little bit about that?
Well, since I graduated from Duke in 2004, I got drafted to the Washington Mysitcs, the WNBA team in D.C., and I've been there ever since. So I've been there for about 7, going into my 8th season. Didn't get a chance to play my 7th season because it was a potentially career-ending injury, so this is something I've been working my way back from.
Now with that, if someone was interested, guy or girl, some kids out there that's going to be watching this, if they were interested in getting in the NBA or the WNBA, tell them about the hard work, because it's not easy. It's not easy, and the competition is really tough.
Yeah, and besides from the competition, that's what I think a lot of young kids fall short. And, they see all the glamour, they see the NBA players, they see the WNBA players, they see these professional athletes living and having fun, but they don't understand what went into them getting to that position or us getting to that position. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of self-motivation. Your parents, your coaches can't get out there and dribble the ball for you. They can't get out there and run extra sprints for you. It all comes from within. If you want to be at that next level, it takes a lot of work. And the one thing I can say, I think a lot of kids settle for being average. They settle for getting to that next level and just being in the league. That hard work separates the average players from the great players. Because with the great players, they want to be the best. They want to be the greatest in the sport that they, play, and they go the extra mile to make sure that happens.
Well, first of all, nothing great was ever done without enthusiasm, and he brings that every day. His training is high level, high intensity. That's how he performs, and that's how he expects those that he's working with to perform. And a lot of times, I think over a period of time, the student athletes will surprise themselves with their improvement when his athleticism spills over. Not his athleticism, his enthusiasm.
Yes, in order for you to want to make it to the next level, you have to find someone who's actually been there, who has experienced the high school, the college, and professional, and they can give you those levels. A lot of these kids have false dreams. You know, everybody want to make it to the NBA, but that's not going to happen. It's a very slim number, and in order to get to that next level as far as college, you have to have someone that, again, that can take them by themselves or with a group of folks and just train and train and train and train, because that's the only way you get better. It's not about going out there in the backyard and just playing 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. You got to challenge yourself. And I've seen Shawn a lot, and Shawn challenge these kids, and he get the most out of them, he get the best out of them. And you know, if you got a soft heart, he's not the one you want to be with. So if he can take my 16-year-old, my 11-year-old, and do what he wants, and I sit right there and be quiet. But some folks would say, you can't talk to my baby like that. But if they're gonna make it to the next level, you gotta let them have it.
It is imperative to get your child some extra help. I tell parents you can't do it. You gotta let somebody else train your kid. Because I have a lot of parents that's trying to train their own kid. Can't do it. It don't work. The right age, I think, and some may beg to differ, I think you should, if they are serious about it, you know your kid better than anybody because they're with you all the time. You feed them, you clothe them. But you know if they have a talent. And you can get them to a certain point, but eventually you're gonna have to turn them over. So if you see that talent in them at an early age, 7, 8, 9, I think, because I start training kids at 8. I start them with ball handling at 8. I have a group now we call the Little Hoopers, starting at 8 years old. And the only thing we're teaching them is how to handle the basketball. Most kids can't handle, they can't dribble, in other words. So what you are seeing is the lack of fundamentals and the foundation that has never been laid. So you're seeing raw talent. That's what you're seeing. So to answer that question, to add to that answer is you have to start them training. They have to get some help. Like I tell people all the time, they compare me to other trainers. And I said, look, I'm not the best trainer in America or the world, but I'm somebody that is passionate about the game, that I'm not gonna give you poison. I'm gonna give it to you the right way. Now, if you find people that you think that are suitable and have the professionalism and have the wisdom and the knowledge to get your kid to another level, my advice to you is, that's what you do. But you have to recognize that the only thing you have to do is sit back and be the parent and allow somebody else to get your kid properly trained. Those kids stick out like sore thumbs in the gym. Kids that are fundamentally sound, they stick out. This day and time, they stick out. I talk to a ton of college coaches. I have a circle of college coaches because I'm more on the girl side than I am the boy side, but basketball is basketball. Whether I train girls, whether I train guys, it's basketball. So I have conversations and certain dialogues with different types of coaches, and it goes back to the same thing. They don't have the fundamentals. They want to dunk, they want to shoot the three-pointer, can't dribble drive, no mid-range game, can't post up, can't chin the ball, whatever the case may be. Half the kids don't even know the terminology. They don't even know where sideline is. They don't know where a hash mark is. They know where the three-pointer is. They know what a dunk look like. So that's the epidemic that's hovering over the basketball world right now. And the basketball gods are not satisfied. You know what? I'll tell you the honest truth, I've been struggling with the balance. It's been tough. You know, thank God for my church family. And then it's been tough. You know, being a father, trying to see my son play baseball, just running behind that joker. You know, it's been tough. And then because I work on the weekends and then I'm traveling throughout the week. I'm not afraid to talk about it. Young lady that I went to high school with, we knew each other in high school, hung out, I guess a few times or whatever, but we reconnected after 20 years. 20 years, man, and it has been really, really good. And I can say her name, Roxanne Mize. She's really a sweet woman. I think, you know, when you talk about doing what I'm doing and trying to have a relationship and things of that nature, you gotta have that companion. And that makes it all the better to have somebody to bounce things off of. You know, never been married, close, but never been married. And now I'm in my season. I think I'm pretty well stable now where I can, you know, be a good husband. You know, and that's my desire right now, is to not only this, but be a family guy.
If a child is training, now we're just doing a camp today, but if a child is training, that means they want to get something out of it, and perhaps they want to go to the next level. And if that is the case, that is exactly what they're going to get, plus some. I mean, he does. He's tough on them, but he does praise them for pushing themselves to reach a higher level. At the next level. Some kids can't take it.
Today, it's more kids getting involved. There's more opportunity for those guys to play. So the whole broad of the scheme has just gotten wide with AAU, with all the travel team, the exposure team, etc. The kids are trying to get more exposure to the college coaches, and of course, you know, they're not a whole lot of scholarships out there for these kids. So now they're all pretty much specializing. We don't see too many of the three sports athletes anymore. Everyone pretty much specializes in the sport. So now they are reaching out to get more help from trainers and stuff of that nature to get their game up to that top level.
Farmer. I saw him doing some drills, working you guys out. What made you decide to choose Shawn, or how did that all come about?
Shawn's awesome. I just want to say he is awesome. Like,
Okay.
and I really value him because, and I like appreciate his like effort.
Okay.
He's always coming in to motivate. And he tells me all the time, actually, let me tell you, I met Shawn this past summer in Rocky Mount. I had an internship there with FAC, Food and Logistics. And I went to play pickup randomly at the courts. I saw high school boys out there. I'm like, let me go out there and play with these kids, you know, for conditioning. And some of the players, they were like, oh, you should come to high school. We play pickup. When I went to the high school, I met their coach, Coach Gainey, Mr. and Mrs. Gainey. They coach men and women's boy and girl basketball at that level. And she was like, my daughter works out with Shawn. My daughter and my son works out with Shawn Farmer. You should come. 6 in the morning. I had to be to work at 8 in the morning.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, so let me get out here. First workout, I was gasping for air. I loved every bit of it. And the drills, he's very innovative. He comes up with something new, ways to get shots off all the time. So that's how I met him. I met him last summer, and I went overseas that fall. So I left in October. Then I returned like the end of February. And that's when I started working back out with him. I was like, hey, Shawn, I'm in North Carolina, and I got another goal I want to attain, and it was to get ready.
He's putting it on you right now.
A lot of this business is who you know anyway. And thank God that I'm plugged in with Jason Levy, who runs North Carolina Round Ball Report. I'm giving them a shout out because 8 months out of the year, well, almost all year, because you know that man helped put food on my table. So, it's very important to make sure that you're up under the right teaching. It's like going to church. You know, if you're getting bad teaching, then you might as well, you're going to go out there and just do anything. You know, it's the same thing with basketball. I mean, if I could use that as a reference to what I'm speaking about now, you got to get up under the right teaching. Because, I mean, does everybody teach the same? I know that's going to be a question that people would ask. No, we don't. We have different things that we emphasize, different things that we really want to see kids perfect. Because I've seen trainers and everybody teaches different. No preacher preached the same. No, you don't, I mean, we're just different. Might have some similarities in certain things that we do, but at the end of the day, you gotta get with somebody that knows what they're doing and not just talking it, not just trying to get your money, and they have a passion and that fire to see your kid get results.